Okay, so we are starting here in our area and perimeter notes. And so today's lesson is just really taking these formulas and plugging in the numbers here. So one important thing to note is that base and height must be perpendicular. So in whatever drawing they give you, if they give you extra numbers, just remember you have to pick the ones that have this right angle here. That's what lets me know those are the base and height. So these are both triangles, so I just use the triangle formula, which is 1/2 base times height. So I just plug in 1/2 times 10 times 4.5. I type it in my calculator. It equals 22.5 inches squared. Here, again, we have the right angle. I know that's my base and height. So I do 8.2 times 9.9 divided by 2, which is the same as 1/2. It's just how you prefer to type it into the calculator. That comes out to 40.59. This time we're centimeters, so centimeters squared. Alright, our next two, we just have a square and a rectangle. So we use our second formula here, just base times height. We have the right angles in the corner, so we just multiply side times side. So 5 times 5 equals 25 inches squared. 4 times 8.4, which equals 33.6 yards squared. Easy enough so far. So this is where we see to get the right angle that I do the dotted lines. These dotted lines aren't a part of the figure, but that just lets me know what the vertical height is. And so again, it's just my base times the height they've shown for me here. And so it's just 11.2 times 8.7 comes out to 97.44 yards squared. Number 6 is 6.8 times 8.1, and it comes out to 55.08 feet squared. Okay. At the top of the page, it also asked us to find the perimeter when enough information is given. So perimeter means add all the sides. So I'm going to look here. It did not give me enough information to add all the sides unless I did Pythagorean theorem for this. So I'm going to skip over these because today we're just doing quick review. This one I can find perimeter because if those two sides are 5, these also both have to be 5. So I just do 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, and that equals 20 inches. Perimeter is never squared. We're just counting the straight distance from place to place. This one I can do 4 plus 8.4 plus another 4 plus 8.4, which gives me 24.8 yards. Alright, these ones again, I don't have these sides, so unless I've been asked to use Pythagorean theorem or something else to solve, I'm just going to leave it at that. Our next two are trapezoids. So the trapezoid formula is right here, and so it is base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times the height. And so I like to write it this way because that's the easiest way to enter the calculators. You add the two bases, divide by 2, then multiply it times the height. And so the bases are always the parallel line. So no matter which way it's turned, it's whatever is exactly parallel. And so I add 10.9 plus 3.7 divided by 2. And easiest way in the calculator for me is just to do this as a two-step problem. And so I would go ahead and type in that way, 10.9 plus 3.7, push enter so it totals it for me, divide by 2, and then I get 7.3, multiply it times the height, which is 11, to get 80.3 feet squared. The other way you could do is you could go ahead in these calculators, do your control divide, and get the box and type in the 10.9 plus 3.7, go down, divide by 2, it looks like I missed a 0 there, come out to the side and do your times 11. And just enter it all into one line there, and then give you the same 80.3. So you choose. To me, it's faster just to do the steps and total it. Some people like typing it in this way altogether. All right, go ahead and try this one in your calculator and see if you can get your answer. Should be 39 miles squared. Okay, if you didn't get that, you might want to pause your video and check with someone in your group or your teacher and see what the problem there is. Alright, our next two. This may be something new to you. These are called regular polygons. Okay? So regular polygon just has this formula right here. Is 1/2 apothem times perimeter. So something to note in geometry formulas, a capital letter means you have to do something first. And so our formula here is 1/2 apothem times the perimeter. So perimeter, add all the sides. And so we're just going to count up. This is one side is 12, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sides. So I just do 12 times 9 sides to equal 108. Okay, so that's easy. Apothem is just this. Okay, so in today's lesson, you will always be given the apothem and a side. So apothem is what goes from the center to the middle of the side with that right angle. That is what an apothem is. So I'm just going to plug in 1/2 times 16.5 times the 108 that I already found. And that gives me 891. And it did not give me the units, so it would just be units squared. Alright, so this one again, you do it. See if you can set it up, find your perimeter, find your apothem, plug it into the formula, and your final answer should come out to 287. And again, if you do not get 287, pause the video, figure out what you need to adjust. Alright, then next up we have area of circles. This is something you've probably done before. Area of circle is just pi radius squared. And so we look here, they gave us the radius, and so I just plug in pi 12 squared. It tells me use your calculator's value of pi and round to the nearest tenth. So remember, tenth is 1 decimal. So that means in these calculators that we use in class, pi button is down here, right above the comma at the bottom. So I can type in just pi. It's going to pop up with a symbol, and I push enter, and then type in 12 squared. So I'm typing it into here exactly the way I wrote it on the page. It totals it all for me and tells me 452.389. And then I look at, so 1 decimal place is here. The 8 means it moves up. So my answer is 452.4 kilometers squared. Alright, so again, this one, you do it in the calculator, you should get 58.1 meters squared. So if you do not get that, check and see what needs to be adjusted. Okay, and our last 2 examples for the day are circumference. Okay, again, we're using calculator's value of pi, rounding to the nearest tenth. So our circumference formulas are right here. It just tells me circumference equals 2 pi radius, or pi times the diameter, because diameter equals 2 times the radius. So here they gave me the radius, and so I just plug in 2 pi times the 2.7, because I'm using my 2 pi radius formula. And when I plug that into the calculator, it becomes 16.9646. So I come here to the 1 decimal place. I see that this number is bigger, so it rounds it up to 10. And so it becomes 1610, which rounds that up to 17. So this rounds up to 17 feet squared. Sorry, 17 feet. Circumference goes all the way around the edge. So it is not squared. It's just the flat space around the edge. Alright, and again, this time you do it. You should get 55.9 kilometers. So make sure you can get that one. And that is our notes for today, so go on to your assignment.